Hello, so I'm going to make a video and give you guys a little update on the garden, on my backyard garden, and yeah, show you guys how the trees are doing, what they look like, um, what kind of fruit I have set on the trees this year, or what trees have fruit on them and what trees just don't. Um, It is August 13, and it's fig season here in Victorville, California. Um, at least for the Violet de Bordeaux and the Blackjack fig. Um, this is the time when they start to ripen their figs, and I wanted to share what they look like. And then I'll give you guys a little walkthrough of the garden and show you the trees. Um, I do have kind of a little bit of a mess back here because I had my garage finished, so I had to um, take everything out, and so they can work on the workers. And I temporarily put a lot of stuff that I had stored in the garage in my backyard in the like patio area back here. So that's why I have a lot of boxes and stuff like that. But now that the garage is finished and it looks really nice and clean and beautiful, I don't want to put all the stuff back in there. So I'm getting a little garden shed, or a little shed for storage. I'm going to put it back there. So there is a couple of pots in that bed I have to move and just kind of clean that area so that they can come and install that shed hopefully next month. So I can have storage and I can get this little patio area cleaned up, so that yeah, we can have a nice clean backyard. Anyways, nice and tidy. Anyways, so I will show you guys the figs and then I'll show you the trees. So this is the Violet de Bordeaux, and if you've seen my other videos before, this is my favorite fig. I have it growing in a pot. I don't remember how many years I've had it for now. So I'm guessing more than 3, but I would have to look back at some of the older videos and check to be 100% sure. But I've had it in growing in my backyard for a while now, years now, and it is my favorite. It's got its first fig of the season. It's ripe now. You can see it's a dark fig, and it does taste a lot like it tastes like a fig, obviously, but it has a little bit of like strawberry or raspberry, or just like a mild berry flavor combined with a fig flavor. So it is a lot like it's kind of like a berry type of fig. It always produces a nice crop. You can see the green fruit and then the ripe fruit. So this is the first one of the season, August 13. And then they'll just all start to ripen. Now they don't all ripen at the same time, which is nice. It kind of staggers the ripening. So once I harvest this one, then there'll be a couple more, and then there'll be a couple more, and then they ripen from the inner part of the branch to the outer part. So here's the figs. Another little close-up. And there's just more, on the branches. If you follow the branches, they grow in a new wood. And I have noticed that I don't like I don't know what you call it, the Brava crop. It's basically the figs that start to show up early in the season, like in spring, on on last year's wood, if that makes sense. But I don't like them, so they don't ripen. They don't do good, and they don't taste good, and they don't ripen very nicely. So I've learned that I will remove those in the early season when it starts to wake up, and then just let it focus on its main crop, which is the crop that I love. They always ripen beautifully and they taste amazing, and it's in August. And this thing does really well in this large container. So right over here, I have another fig in a container, but I have 3 in containers. I've had the 2 in the large containers, the longest, which is the Violet de Bordeaux and the Blackjack. That one, I think it's almost 2 years old. I don't think it's quite 2 years, but I think it's going on its 2nd year. My partner bought this for me because he did some research, and everyone was saying how delicious this fig was, so he bought this for me. There is 3 pieces of fruit, and I'm hoping it ripens them. Because it did set fruit last year, but it didn't quite ripen the fruit like to perfection. It was kind of weird. I think it was kind of late, really late. But it is August, so I still have plenty of time for this tree to ripen this this fruit. Hopefully it decides to ripen them and not drop them, but they're getting like a pretty good size to them now. There was something on here eating this tree, just eating the leaves. It looked like a grasshopper. I don't know what kind of insect, but it was hopping, and it looked like a grasshopper or some sort of grasshopper looking thing, or something that's in the grasshopper family. But it was munching on the leaves. This one, like, it's almost completely eaten, but it's putting on new leaves now that our weather is starting to get a little bit cooler. Like, we're gonna be like 92 today, 94, but we were like 115 sometimes in the summer. So it was really hot. Some of my stuff got a little bit burnt. But so anyways, let me take you through the garden. Here we have a seedling peach. My old peach is not doing so good, so we might have to replace that tree. It is like 10 or 11 years old. The plum tree, the Shiro plum, the yellow plums, did terrible this year. Don't know why, but the fruit that it set very little fruit. It had a beautiful bloom, so I thought it was going to be a good year, but it wasn't. So it did set fruit. A lot of it dropped, and then the one that stayed on the tree was very small, like a cherry, like the size of a cherry or smaller. So no, it was not a good year for that plum tree. That's like the first tree that kind of ripens its fruit. Oh, well, the mulberries in the containers, which I have to move because that's where my new garden shed's gonna go, in that space right over there. So I got to move those 2 pots and that bed, and I'm hoping I don't have to move my in-ground citrus, my Calamandan and my kumquat. Calamandan's a lot bigger, but and it's doing great. It does have some ripe fruit on it, and then it's got green fruit, and it was flowering the other day. So and we are in, at this time of the year, so you can kind of see what it's doing. There is the pistachio nut. So my pistachio nut has gotten tall and nice, which I love. And it does have some nuts. Now, I don't know much about this tree. I keep thinking like, oh, I need to like do some research or watch someone that has experience growing these and get some tips and stuff like that. Like, I don't know when like the harvest time is. I don't know how you know when they're ripe. But it has fruit this year, which is weird because it needs a pollinator, which I do have. It's right next to it. So this is the female and that's the male, but the male didn't produce any flowers, so I don't know how we got fruit. So there must be another tree. That's what I'm thinking. There must be another pistachio nut tree nearby, or maybe it's self-fertile, like partially self-fertile. But there's nuts. And like I said, I don't know when they're ready. There's not a lot, but there is a few. You can see back there, and then like inside the tree too. But it's a really pretty tree. I love having this in my garden. even just because it's beautiful. So this little area is gonna have the shed, and then so we have some nuts, and then here's the other fig in the pot. That's a beautiful piece of fruit. It's a lot bigger than the Violette de Bordeaux. This is not quite ripe. It should all turn dark. It still has a little bit of green, but there is some ripe fruit over here. Here's a nice little cluster. There's the green fruit, and then there's the ripe fruit. This one's ripe. It's the darkest. And then this one's almost ripe. And there's one back there. This one's still green. So I counted about 20 pieces of fruit, and I did harvest 3 already. This one's about a week earlier than the Violette de Bordeaux, which is why I harvested fruit from this already and not from the Violette, because it's just ripening its first fig. This one looks ripe as well, and then these other 2 don't. So let's see. Got little clusters, and then there's another one here starting to ripen. But yeah, this one does really good in a container as well. There it is. There's its canopy. And so yeah, so it is my figs. It is the fig season here in my area in Victorville, California. I did move these roses. They've been doing really well. It was back here, but since I have to clear this up so they can set up the shed, I moved them here. So I'm not sure if they're gonna stay here, but they're here for now. And then I gotta find a place for the mulberries and the containers and the bed somewhere in another part of the garden. So we do have this little pomegranate. It's a different variety than the Wonderful that I have in the corner of the yard on the other side. It is the pink satin or pink ice or something like that. I don't remember. I have to look at the other video, at my old videos. But it's supposed to be lighter in color, like a pink. I've never had fruit. It does set fruit, but I always remove the fruit because the tree is kind of small. I'm trying to stay in the shade because it's still hot and it's early. But I decided to leave 3 pieces of fruit this year because the tree is getting a lot bigger and stronger. So there is 3 pieces of fruit. I think you can hold that. Here's one, the largest one. And it's really cute. There's another piece over there, and then there's like another small one back here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's there. So we'll see if it ripens the fruit and if it tastes good. If not, it's still very young and it'll have plenty of time to produce fruit. And then right next to it, which they're almost touching, it's a quince tree. That's what the quince tree looks like. It was a lot taller, but because of the weight of the fruit, it's now kind of weeping. It has like a more of a like spread type canopy, kind of like umbrella shape, which is pretty. But I'll bring you close. I did remove the fruit, like I did thinning, because this tree can get really heavy. But look at the fruit. Beautiful pieces of fruit. And this will be ready in the fall, sometime like November. But like very pretty pieces of fruit. This one's very reliable. It's very easy to care for, and it does great here in Victorville. And then right over there, I have a crabapple, which does have fruit on it. And then I have my regular apple, an Arkansas black. It's like more of like a fresh eating apple or more of like a commercial type of apple. That crab apple is just, it's better than most crab apples, but it's still not really good for fresh eating. It's kind of a little bit on the mushy side. So I need to harvest that and then like maybe use it for, I think it would be good for like applesauce or something like that, or for baking, but not like for fresh eating. And then I do have some apples on my Arkansas Black, which I'll bring you guys closer so you guys can see. And then, but not like a huge crop again. I think this one flowered really early, and this one's a little bit late. So there was some cross pollination, or else I wouldn't have apples, because it does need a pollinator, but it doesn't have like a huge crop. Which, yeah, I'm thinking of getting like a golden Dorset, or there's another one that should do really good in my area, but maybe I can add that to my garden if this one continues to just kind of give me like small crops, but we'll see. And then so we have apples, we have a few olives on the olive tree behind the apple tree. Right in the corner there's an olive tree, the Manzanillo olive. And then my persimmon, my Fuyu persimmon right over there, it's loaded with persimmons. They're kind of small, and I might have to do some thinning because I don't want the branches to break. So but yeah, and I'll bring you guys close. So let me show you guys the fruit now. You guys have seen these, and then here's the little crab apples. They look beautiful, like it's really pretty. It's a very ornamental, really cute tree, and the apples look delicious, but they're not. Like the flavor's good, but the texture's off. They're mushy, but they're okay. Like if you're really hungry and you have nothing else, like they will do. It's got like an orangey red color to them. Wow, it's hot. It's still very hot. Kind of ready for fall. But it does stay like a nice crop. It's kind of heavy, so it produces like lots of apples, the crab apple. Here's the Arkansas Black. Here's an apple. There's another apple. Another apple. So I haven't counted the apples, but there's not a lot. But there's a few. Another apple. More apples. Wait. Apple. So yeah, there's a few apples. Sometimes they do get damaged by sunburned or like a burrowing insect, but they look pretty good this year. So I'm hoping I can enjoy them all and bugs don't get to them. They look good right now. It is a late season apple, so I probably do want to add another one that's like an early season, which would be kind of ripe, which would ripen its fruit like now, or like June, like July, August, like right around this time, or like a month ago. And then we would have this late season apple that doesn't ripen its fruit till like November. Like it's kind of late. This is the Arkansas Black. Then we have a few olives, not a lot, which is fine because I don't want a lot of olives. I like olives, but the processing is kind of tedious. So there's a few. And then yeah, so let me show you guys. And then the persimmon has a lot of little fruits. I do have to go and kind of thin the fruits on here, but there they are. So they're still small. But let me go back here and show you what this looks like. So right over here, I have, I'm gonna go in the shade because it's hot. So those are the, whoops, the pots that I moved in my little porch area. I did have apricots. So that was like the first fruit to produce in like of the season. So I did have apricots, and I did record a little bit, and I think I never uploaded the video, so the video or videos are still in my phone. So I will try to upload them, but yeah, I'll do my best. it was just a busy summer. We did have a lot of fun, and the kids were home, so they kept me really busy. These roses, this one doesn't have roses right now, but it is gonna bloom, but they're cute. It's got these little tiny purple ones back here that are so cute. This one's blooming right now. So it has been blooming even throughout the summer. It's like the topaz jewel, and it's kind of like my first season with trying out roses. So yeah. All right, so in the ground I have 2 figs, one right there and one right there. That's a cutting, unknown variety, no figs. This one is a Iranian green fig, and it has like 3 pieces of fruit, and I'm hoping it'll ripen them because it has set fruit in the past but did not ripen them. They kind of just shriveled up and they fell. So let's see. There is plenty of time for this to ripen them. It is a little sunburn because I'm telling you guys, we've had like 116-degree temperatures here in our summers. This one's falling. You can kind of just remove these because temperatures are cooling off, and so we can the tree is going to put on a little bit of it's going to get a break, and it's going to leaf out a little bit more before it goes dormant for the season. But we have 3 pieces of fruit here. It is a green fig, and again, I haven't had this tree ripen its fruit for me since I've had it, and I think I've had it for 2 years. So here's another piece of fruit, and then you guys, this one's looking good. Like, that one's looking swollen, like it's trying to ripen. That's looking really good, so it might ripen. And see how it looks from the back. Let me remove this leaf. But look at that, you guys. It's starting to look like it's trying to ripen that. I really hope I get fixed this year. So I did remove the little leaves. It looks better now, actually. The little burnt leaves. That's what it looks like in the ground. And the other one doesn't have any, so I'll go back in the shade. I'm burning. We have jujubes back in there. Let me see if I can try to get the camera close. We have some jujubes throughout the tree, and there's a lot up there, up high. The dogs like to eat them. They do some crazy jumps to get the ones that are down at the bottom. But it is covered. It does have a lot of fruit, especially up there. Let's see if I can zoom in. You guys see the fruit? And this is the Lee variety, the jujube Lee. It's a pretty interesting fruit, pretty good tasting. But yeah, a lot of the fruit is up there. You guys see that? It's pretty tall, and I like it this way. I want it tall. I want it large with a nice canopy so that it can provide shade for my dogs. So yeah, going back in the shade because it's very, very hot. So that is the Lee jujube, and it does have fruit. Let's see how tall it is. Okay, and then the peach tree back there, it has fruit, but it's not doing so well. So I think I'm gonna have to, if it dies, I'm gonna have to cut it down, remove it, and replace it. I'm thinking of doing dwarf peaches. That's what I've been thinking. I want to add to my backyard, add a couple of dwarf peaches and maybe grow them in pots And I feel like they'll be easier to manage. I can net them and keep the birds away from my fruit more easy. And they do produce like full-size fruit. I've seen them produce like a good crop, and I can probably control like easier to pest manage, like pest management and like fertilizing and all that. So I might do that when I remove that, and then I'll replace that with something else that can grow there. I added these little cages for my what is this? Jasmine. So hopefully it can fill in and it can smell really good here in the porch. So I have two. Oops. All right, and then the pomegranate is doing wonderful, and it is the wonderful variety. So the wonderful pomegranate. The peaches, they're not doing so good. They're very small, and the tree's just not doing great. And the birds do try to take them. So I just kind of feel like it's on its last days. But sad, but well, it did live pretty long. But you guys, look at the wonderful pomegranate. Amazing. It's got a beautiful canopy. And it's got a beautiful, beautiful fruit set. So pretty. So pretty. And there is lots and lots of fruit. Look at this branch, is so heavy. And this is another fall fruit. So November, October. Wow, that sun. Look at all those. It's so hot. So hot. I need to run inside as soon as I'm done making this video. Run inside and hide until it cools off in the evening. It's pretty much what we have to do out here in the desert. This is what it looks like from the back side. See, so there's a lot of lots. Lots of pomegranates. So I will be giving some to my family and friends. And the fall season. So really good one to grow. It doesn't really deal with a lot of disease and pest. And it loves our hot summers. It takes our winters, and it's wonderful. It really is wonderful. I guess why they named this variety the wonderful pomegranate. And yeah, the peach tree, it's just sad. It's not doing well, so we'll see. I'm going to cut it back. But yeah. So that's it. That's pretty much what's going on here in the backyard now that summer is coming to an end, and I'm excited about the fall season. So let me go to the shade. I'm gonna harvest a couple of figs and share them with my partner, and I'm gonna go inside because it's hot. All right, I will try to upload that harvest video, the apricot harvest video, and upload this video, and then maybe I'll do like a winter, probably a fall video, like a fall harvest video, or a winter. And yeah, I'll see you guys I'll talk to you guys on the next video, and I hope you guys are all enjoying your gardens, and yeah, we'll talk later. Bye.